All right, so I just did a video on Fibonacci, and I got to think about something because I say this a lot. The world wants to be deceived. Why? And people tell you left and right, "Oh, I don't want to be deceived." Yeah, they do. We have this thing in us. Think about all your conspiracy theory nuts, and basically, you have people that want to see some hidden message. They want to see something that the rest of the world can't see. They want to know something everyone else doesn't know. Why is that? Um, the Now this is going to strike some people, badly. Uh, Generally, I'm going to say most of them are right-hand path, though there are some left-hand path conspiracy people who are um, paranoid. And but basically, I think among the satanic elite, the people, the truly demonic, we don't have any use for illusion. We reject all lies. There is the rule that reject all illusion and lies, accept only truth in all of its beauty and horror. So why? Why do people do it? As I said, in our evolution, um, figuring out pattern recognition definitely helps. It helps a lot in a lot of places. I'm sure it did all throughout our evolution. But why has it gone to such an extreme that we basically want to see things where they don't exist? Why, that rational part of our mind gets turned off. Where we say, where we basically say, take it with a grain of salt, and definitely test it out, make sure that what you see is what you actually see. But our subconscious doesn't really like to let us do that, or at least those who are not well along the left-hand path. Uh, why is it my own? And of course, this is just my own opinion. It's simple. They've chased after a ghost and a god and a meaning, in life that's not there. They want it. They need it to be there because they've based their whole philosophy, their whole existence on the idea. Even the atheists, and those of you that don't know me personally, um, know that I view the atheists as Christians. I don't see any difference in them, and I have my own reasons for that. But they have an empty hole inside their, you can say their soul or their psyche or whatever. They want, they need to find some meaning. They need to have some magical, glorious answer because they know they're missing something. It's that simple. Of course, those on the left-hand path and those that are well along on the left-hand path who have successfully evoked demons, had manifestations, that sort of thing, well, then we don't need illusion and lies, do we? And once you've seen that kind of shit, manifest right in front of you, you're like, okay, that's all I need. And you don't need to chase after these mysterious things that always seem to elude us. There are so many answers within nature and the universe itself. You don't need to come up with these hidden puzzles. There's just so much right in front of you that's still left to be discovered for each and every person. But of course, the right hand path says that searching after those answers is forbidden. That's forbidden knowledge. You're not supposed. That's the fruit of the tree. Not supposed to do it. But they are, as much as I jokingly say they're not the same species, they are the lesser of the species, at least. Um, Genetically, for the most part, they're the same as us. And we all have that drive, something making us just, hey, what's out there? And some people, and my definition of the right and left hand path basically comes down to this: the right hand path people, they'll say prudence and caution, are the way to go. And they'll basically let their fear overpower their curiosity. The left-hand path, on the other hand, their curiosity will always overpower their fear. That's just, all there is to it. You could try to make it into something much more grand than that, but I really do see that's just the two sides of the coin. You have two driving forces: fear and curiosity. Which one is going to win? For your psychology, the psychology of your mind. If you're left-hand path, probably the curiosity is going to win out, and you're going to end up making a lot of stupid mistakes when other people were able to see it. Now, see, if you just, use a little bit of caution, that wouldn't have happened. But of course, they're sitting back and they never discover anything. And that's, at least from what I see, that's pretty much the majority of the Earth's population today, at this particular age. There's so much information out there on the internet, and people just want to look at propaganda sources. They want to look at conspiracies. They want to look at all kinds of crazy stuff, or they just want to screw around on Facebook. You can read, the translated work of Isaac Newton. It's there for free. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars for it, or thousands of dollars, like a college education. Everything is like in the movie Good Will Hunting. He basically said he got the same information that these people got when they got their degree. They paid all this money for the degree, and he basically got the same education for $5 in late fees at the library. Well, now there's not even late fees at the library. You have information available to you. Go out and use it. You don't need to look for these magical, mysterious forces, because nature itself presents, it presents plenty of mystery, and there's lots of stuff to be discovered, and you can have success with what other people would consider mystical or magical. Of course, I think pretty much every accomplished occultist of the world understands that, at least in this day and age, with quantum physics, they understand that magic is just science that hasn't been discovered, or at least hasn't been documented yet. We know that there's a ton of stuff out there that's left to discover, and some people basically follow the old traditional ways of trying to figure out how it is our universe works. And it is actually, if you look at especially at chaos, and really most, I think, of your older magical practices, they're basically using the scientific method, and every one of them says, hey, look, try this, figure out what works, test it. If that works for you, keep it, discard the rest. But yeah, the rest of the world has been just taught that these things are not real. It's fantasy. And this is really detrimental to the world for one reason, because while mathematics is the language of the physical universe, it's not the language of the universe, because the universe is polar. It has two sides. And there is another language, and that is of the will. But and of course, science has trouble with that. Hopefully soon they'll get that one figured out. But yeah, why do people look for hidden meaning and everything? Because they know it's out there. They instinctively know that it's out there and the answers are out there. But the religions, philosophies, and whatnot of the world would say, hey, you're not supposed to do that. That's evil. It's bad. It's it's fantasy. It's whatever. And people are made fun of. And at certain times, and still in certain places of the world, are persecuted and even killed. I saw something on, I think it was Yahoo headlines, this is like a year or two ago, and they executed a goat someplace. It might have been in the Middle East or Africa, I forget, but the goat actually got put on trial for witchcraft. A goat. Yeah. And he's found guilty. I don't know who his lawyer was. how exactly that worked, but they found the goat guilty and they executed it. That shows you that fear, basically 90, probably more than 90%, 95% of the population, fear wins out over curiosity. That's just how it is. Um, and then of course there's the people that where the curiosity does win out, and they do very well because the universe, if you're willing to put the work in and you're willing to just stop and think about it and go through put forth the energy and the time to just learn some basics, some basic science, some basic principles of like, hey, let's observe and test things. Let's see what works, what does not. And people that do that get ahead. It's that simple. The universe, it really isn't that complex. And but to the rest of the world, of course, it's a mystical, it's this mystical construct that just has a million questions that can never be answered. And that's why they're always searching for hidden meanings. They're always trying to look for this hidden information, whether it's a conspiracy theory, whether it's the Holy Ghost, you know, all of the answers they're searching for are right in front of them. But, they've been brought up and they have the genetic disposition to be afraid and be to let that fear stop them. I don't think, I don't know, maybe some people would disagree with me, some other occultists. I don't think the first time you ever successfully summon a demon, I mean, if you tell me you're not feeling any fear, I think you're full of shit. Maybe you're not, but you did it anyway, and you carried through with it, and then the fear went away because we fear the unknown. We fear what's strange and different. But then once we observe it and we interact with it, well, it's no longer strange and different. We understand it, and the fear goes away. So anyway, that's just something I wanted to pass on, put up here on the channel, because I just did that Forex video, and I think being able to understand the very basics of existence will help you in your trading. It will help you in your occult practices. It will help you in every aspect of your life. There are downsides to it. Most of the people in your life around you will not be capable of doing the same thing. And the ONA has a rule. I think it's rule number 6 of theirs: love nothing so much that you can't see it die. The Vedic order put it up to rule number 4 and said, love, and modified it and said, love nothing so much that you can't watch it die. Actually actively watch it just destroy, someone or something destroy itself, because you will. If they're not of hell, they will destroy themselves slowly, but surely. They'll give their souls away, they'll give their energy away, they'll give everything away. And they'll blame evil for everything. And basically the bad stuff that's happening to them is of their own, it's of their own making. So yeah, take that. Hopefully you can use it, and definitely don't be afraid to try. Just go out there. Sometimes you're going to fail, and more importantly, I've said this to everyone that I've ever even given a little bit of either financial or spiritual counsel to, and that is, um, some of the truths that you're going to learn are not nice. They're not. They're not pleasant. We say reject all lies and illusion, accept all truth in all of its beauty and its horror. There's some truths out there that aren't very nice, but that doesn't make them untrue. We need to accept truth, and in doing so, we understand how things work, and the world is a little less mystical, and we're able to get by a little bit better and do better for ourselves because we just have a basic understanding of how the things work. Anyway, hail Satan, dig ya. take this, do what you will with it. See ya. Get paid.